my friends. Today we're going to make a card using a tool that I don't use very much, but it's a brayer. And so we're going to use this to make a nice colored background so you can see how to use it. Basically what a brayer is just a rubber roller, and it gives you an even coverage of ink. So almost like Distress Inks, the foam applicator, how you get a nice smooth coverage. This brayer also does the same, but with regular dye and Stampin' inks that you may have. So let me just show you how I use it, and I don't use it very often, but I'm hoping to use it more. So the little tip is to start with your lightest color. So I have a few colors out, and I'm going to start with my lightest color, which is Daffodil Delight, which is yellow. So all you do is you take your ink and you take your brayer and you just roll it like a paintbrush and just get it covered. Just put a little bit of pressure and then roll it onto your cardstock. So I'm going to roll it here on the bottom part of my cardstock, and you can see how it just gives it a smooth color consistency. So that's what the brayer does for you. So you can make it as light or as dark as you like, and you can go in one direction, two directions, whatever you like, and depends on what look you're going for. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little bit more of this Daffodil Delight. And then the next color I have is a darker orange, which is a pumpkin pie. And I'm just going to go right over it, but I'm not going to cover all of the Daffodil Delight completely. I'm just going to go over the lower portion of it. And again, you can do as little or as much as you like. Okay, so I'm going to stop there for a minute. You can see how I have the two colors there. And I made a mask, which is basically I just took the punch of the shape I wanted to mask, and then I have temporary adhesive here. This is just a refill, but I don't have the applicator, but I just use the refill as like glue dots. So I just roll back the adhesive little paper, and I just stick my paper with it. And this is repositionable adhesive. And I'm going to stick that somewhere where I want my sentiment to be, so that I could brayer over it and not get color there. So I want that yellow to show through more. So I just put my mask down, and now I'm going to continue to brayer and add color right over that mask, and hopefully get some nice coverage of color there. So I'm going to go in two different directions. Okay. Now I'm going to switch colors completely, so I'm going to just kind of keep brayering on my scratch paper to make sure no color comes off. And now I'm going to go to the blue side. So I have Marina Mist and Not Quite Navy here. So I'm going to start with the Marina Mist, and I'm just going to ink it up and just start brayering right over. Now I'm going to use the darker color, the Not Quite Navy, and just go over near the top. So you're basically shading and adding shades where you want it to be. You're just creating your own background. Now I'm not very good at this because I don't use it very often, but the better you get practice with your pressure, you will avoid getting those straight lines that I'm getting here. Okay, so there's the basic use of the brayer, and now I'm going to remove my mask so you can see. Well, actually, I'm sorry, I'm going to stamp first before I remove my mask. So I'm using this silhouette from Stampin' Up! From their Love and Care Hostess set. And I'm going to stamp that in Early Espresso. Here near the bottom, and just kind of in random places. Okay, so there I have that at the bottom there. And I have this butterfly also from Stampin' Up's Clearly For You stamp set here. I'm going to stamp that also in the Early Espresso. Kind of off here, coming away from the sentiment. Okay. And now I'm going to remove the mask so you can see what I get. And I did not get a very clean lines. So here's a lesson learned. I used cardstock. I should have used some thin computer paper so that it would lay flatter on my project. And then I would get nice clean lines. So I'm just rubbing away the adhesive. But you can get the idea of what you can do there. It would have been cleaner. But I'm still going to use it. So let's take our sentiment. I'm using this Take Care from that same Love and Care. And I'm going to use also again the Early Espresso. I'm going to stamp that in there. Okay. So you can see my card coming together. So now I'm going to adhere this to my card base, and I'm going to put it all the way over to the far right, which is how I want my layout to be. Okay. Then I pre-punched using my scallop border trim ribbon punch, and I'm going to cut this down the middle again. I'm going to adhere that down just for a little visual interest over here. Okay, and then I'm going to round the corners using my corner chomper here. So I'm going to round the corners of the entire card. And then just for a little more interest around the sentiment, I'm going to add, I think I'm going to add some pearls. I think I'm going to use this large one here. These little ones on some of these flowers. So I'm just using my scissors because it has a fine point, and using that to stick these little pearls. And there we go. So I hope you enjoyed learning how to use a brayer, and I hope you give it a try. Happy stamping. See you next time. Bye-bye.